My name is Sagar, and a very good evening to all of you. It was really a wonderful presentation session. What you all had, and may I request Srikanji and Balachandra ji to kindly put on their camera so that we are more aligned to the panel discussion. So thank you so much, gentlemen. Once again, we had a very contrasting views from across industries. Like we have Mr. MHATRE who represents the association. We have Srikanji who represents the consulting side of it. Abhishek Suchak ji, a scientist by profession, and Mr. Balachandra ji, who represents the industry. So great, wonderful. Let me begin by asking Matre sir to you. By the way, ITMMA, it stands for the Indian Textile Accessories and Machinery Manufacturers Association. So they represent the textile machinery manufacturers of India. Matre ji, whatever you spoke about, the cobots, the robots, the retrofittings and PLCs and HMIs, it requires, end of the day, a lot of capital investment. These are all modern AI systems, and companies like Aditya Birla or Raymond's or maybe Reliance, they can afford this. What do you think about the MSMEs? Can they really afford these kind of systems to enhance productivity, improve yields? What are your thoughts on this? Please take us through this.
Thank you. It's a very good question. See, when the technology is there in the beginning, it is very costly. You have
Yeah.
seen the smart mobiles also. They were not available. Today, everyone is having smart mobile. So technology, it is in the flesh stage now, where it will be occupied by many. The demand expands, then it will be very easy to be applicable as well as available. Now, I am giving you a very good example. I was with Bitra for 23 years, and we were doing machinery maintenance audit. We used to go to the mill. We used to first see the records of the mill. What is there in the record? From the record, we come to know which machine is having problem, which spare parts are going beyond the norms. Now, see, when we say AI, it is a gimmicks of data. Now, if you don't have data, you cannot create norms. So norms has to be created first. If you from AI, if you get data and if you don't have norms to see where the spare part and where the machine performance is and when the level, whether it is at good norms, average or poor. And we should have this norm where we can compare the machine. So we can use this AI to get the data. When we used to get the data from the mill, then we used to go on the shop floor, assess the machine. We have to get what is the problem, tell the maintenance person, get the problem solution solved. And then the what is predictive maintenance is the same thing. But now you can apply this AI in this very important area. If you have seen in Maharashtra, the decentralized sector is there. The mills have been closed, and you see all decentralized sector like Solapur, Ishal, Karanji, all small units are there. Government can use this strategy. I'm putting a project to government of Maharashtra that we can have much audit of all these units and give them with the AI, give them a data where they stand, what they should do. We can utilize AI in this fashion and get a audit of all these small units, get a general norms, industry norms, and guide the mills where they are and what should they do. I think so. Every time, what you rightly say, MSME cannot afford. But I have given you a very good example of lubricant changing their color when they get exhausted, when they are damaged. They change the color, but we don't know because they are inside the machine. So AI can be used, cameras can be used, and it can convey the message. The lubricant has to be changed now. So many times, latest development also need advanced development still. Many developments are there. We cannot, it is not necessary AI should be always used in data calculation or data analysis. That data has to be, after all, used on the machine and get the
Yeah.
machine application. So there is a lot of things. If we start machinery maintenance audit, I think many things can come out and it will be helpful to MSME where we can install like take laser technologies and all. Small technology we can install. We need not have to change the machine. When we say that the machine is energy conservation, That machine is not energy conserving. The assembly, the spare part, the component, the accessory which is important in the machine is playing the vital role. So the accessory component has to be taken care and manufactured so the whole machine stands up. Machine is an assembly
Okay.
of the component. Thank you.
Yeah, I stick to the same point of view what you mentioned right now, and wanted to just continue. What is ITAMMA doing in this regard? We have seen clusters of textile hubs, which are like the Coimbatore or the Ichalkaranji or the Surat textile hub. So are these people really benefiting out of these very latest technologies, what we've been talking here?
Yes, yes, sir. Yeah. Recently, I have sent a circular. I'm asking my people. There are many people, many of my members who are, my members have sent their accessories to Chandrayaan. So
Okay,
I
great.
they are. They have been appreciated by ITMA with awards. Then
Okay,
I'm asking them. I have already asked them. Please let us know what are the intricate development innovations you have made. So we will tell the government to subsidize this innovation because
right.
after all proper quality component will only deliver state of the art machine. When you say it is a state of the art machine, it is not the machine itself. It's the components which are assembled on the machine are very important.
Okay, okay. Let me bring in Shrikantji on this. Shrikantji, you spoke about a very interesting point. You know, the paperless factory and what wonders AI can do in predictive maintenance, quality, AI, sales forecasting. So how can an organization integrate AI-driven decision making into lean systems like Kaizen and continue improvement without actually losing the human-centric discipline? That the whole principle of lean is based on human centric discipline. So, your thoughts on that, if at all you could navigate us through this?
Yeah, that's good. So, based on our experience of consulting with the SMEs as well as the large organizations, we looked into one gap. The gap was like few of the practices were very manual in terms of your DWM, where you take a checklist, go do audits, reporting, everything is manual. So, one layer above to that is the concept of digitalization. So when we digitalize, most of the redundancies that are there in the manual work gets eliminated there. Now, what happened is now we digitize the concept of doing a 5S audit. Then the
Yeah,
next logical question was now in most of the factories, what happens is people want inputs. I mean, if they have some issue, the first thing that they do is rather than thinking, they approach the internet. They look into the internet for some solutions. If there is no one to ask for in the factory, they just want a solution. So where AI kicks in is it gives the direction to think. I'm not telling that AI is the 100% right thing for his or her problem, but it gives a direction. Now, even if you think of this 5S itself, so if you just take a photo, put it in the application and you ask for it, it will give you a possible 8 to 10 steps of what you can take to improve that area. Now, that's where the human thinking point also comes in. So it gives you a list of suggestions. Now it is our thought process to what to take from the AI and how do we implement it on the shop floor. And
yeah.
once it is implemented, so using the concept of vision system, any changes happens in that region with respect to 5S, an automatic alert goes back to the system. So this is how we can use AI and also have the human element left in the system as well.
Okay. I am just trying to understand, in the whole process of whatever discussions we're having, there is too much of data which is generated. So, sticking to you, Abhishek ji, is this something we are adding more complexities like the digital muda instead of a value?
Sorry, I'm not getting your question. Can you repeat it?
Yeah, so whatever we are discussing right now, a lot of data is generated, so are we actually adding the digital muda instead of creating some kind of a value?
No, actually, AI is based on data only.
Yeah,
So initially, the data volume will be much more higher when you
yeah,
are starting,
yeah.
when the transformation period is there.
Mhm.
So once you are going to get filtered out the data, then the streamline and the things will be much more easier than that. And basically, the artificial intelligence is basically a tool. It is not like
Right.
all the things are going to get automized
Right.
and the humans are going to get free. Actually, it is a tool that reduces the human effort in
Right.
whatever terms in different applications. So every time human have to be there to monitorize. So the role is going to change, but human is required everywhere because it is only a tool. It is nothing more than that.
And what are the key challenges that Indian manufacturers are facing while translating advanced automation and AI research into shop floor reality? And how can institutes like yours, CMTI, help the industry to build this gap?
Now, in recent era, the people are talking about industry 4.0 everywhere. But basically, when you are seeing the ground level reality, our industries are at industry 2.0 to 3.0. It is between that. It is not
Absolutely.
actually 3.0 as well. So we already have jumped to industry 3.0 and now we are directly talking for industry 4.0. So what exactly the industries are facing that the industry where I am seeing in my scenario. So MSME and the small industries are having very upfront capital is very much limited over there.
Yeah.
And the AI solutions are slightly costly because the transformation is not like in revenue, you cannot suddenly earning after applying the AI. The long term, it is going to affect that. So when you are approaching to any industry for the AI solution or anything, the first thing they are going to ask if the AI solution is going to work on the legacy machine or we have to purchase the new machine. So basic thing is the AI solution for in machine tools specifically, if I talk about. So nowadays the things are like that. The solutions are available in market where you can convert the legacy machine into the smart machine. So it is not that key your machine is crap. You can convert that machine. You can take the feedback. You can make the closed loop feedback system, and you can analyze the data and you can take the parameters whatever you want as per your shop floor. So that is possible. Another thing is the investment and the return on investment. So that two factors people are more worried on. So X amount we are investing. So how much return on investment I am getting? So basically these two factors are working. And on behalf of CMTI, like what CMTI is working. So what I have listed, multiple solutions we are working on to specifically provide, specifically should be working for the small industries. Large industries, we are also working with them, but specifically certain solutions could be transform the smaller industries. Then the whole base can elevate.
Okay. Srikanji, now Abhishek is talking about, return on investment, capital. But one thing which is also coming for people or the industry to adopt this is, the return on investment should be very fast. The patience and the turnaround time they are demanding is quick. So, what's your perspective on that, sir?
So first thing is, like as Mr. Abhishek also rightly
Yeah.
mentioned, we need to have basic discipline in place. We need to have basic systems in place before we introduce any technology. Let me give you an example of one of my they were supposed to be my client, but it didn't materialize. So they had invested close to, I think, about 5.5 lakhs. It's a small unit based in Hosur. Their turnover is roughly about 50 crores per annum. They run about 2 units. They're into machining. What they did was they invested close to about 5.5 lakhs for the IoT solution. So every machine got fitted with the device. It's basically machining. So all milling, turning, typical machines. So they installed IoT devices on all these machines. They did it, but the discipline which they lacked was when they were training, when the supplier trained their team, few of the supervisors were not attentive, were not alert in understanding what it does. So that's where people call it as a technology failure. I will not term it as a technology failure. It's more of an understanding failure from the team. So then what they did was, again they called them, they got it retrained. And now you spoke about ROI, right?
Yeah.
once, I mean, the amount of cycle time, I mean, I'll put it another way. So we see that there is some amount of idle time that goes typically in night shifts. So they change the speed and they run it. This is known for, this is a kind of an open secret. So in one of the clients, once this device was installed in night shift, every week, every day, there was about 4 hours that were seen as idle. And then after a
Yeah.
week, these reports were shown to the operators and supervisors themselves. So then they saw that, okay, we are being monitored. Now we are supposed to do it. Now, the ROI perspective for the owner, because he invested on the device and he was able to get 4 hours of production. Now, mind you, all these components goes for export in this particular client. So the ROI for him is less than 2 months, even if you take it
Hmm.
for a machine. So it is not, I would phrase it as, you need to have discipline first, you need to have systems first, and then you need to have these kind of technologies in place.
Okay. Madhuri, please come in here. Disciplines, systems, and technology. Is this what you want to respond? Would like to respond to? Because you are representing the machinery manufacturers, and most of the things spoken by Srikanji is about manufacturing on the shop floors. How do you see at this, sir?
So what he said is exactly right. I fully agree with him. The discipline
Yeah.
should be there because when we are implementing the technology, if you don't get the benefits of it, and there are systems to follow, otherwise technology cannot be successful. If you don't follow, technology is not something spirituality coming and doing by doing nothing. So you have to get involved in the system, the workflow, the SOP which is given. Then only you will get benefit. And
Okay.
I give a very good example. See, in ITMA, we are doing under BK Meta Technology Networking Mission. We are bringing the academia, industry experts, stakeholders, and government bodies on the same platform. For half a day, they interact. We all ask at least 7 to 8 colleges to display their project out of the box ideas, and we try to make it exposed to the stakeholders and the industry expert, and we come out with some great paper. So
Okay.
their ideas which are there with the student should be available to the industry, but through industry experts. Student cannot directly connect with industry.
Okay.
So
So that's a valid point. What has been discussed. Let me bring in Mr. Balachandraji. So, sir, you are into bulk material handling and silo operations, right? So, where do you see robotics and automation delivering the most immediate impact? In terms of safety, consistency, and finally the efficiency.
Say, when we have a problem with the shortage of manpower,
Haji.
for sure we need to automate it. So, in some cases, we have shortage of manpower. For example, when it is a good welding process, we need shortage of manpower. When there's a
Yeah.
grinding process, it is okay. We can handle with the existing manpower. So we decide where is the bottleneck that is happening, and then we need to update it to the latest technology. For sure, there's a cost involved, but we need to mark which are the components that is required, and then we need to invest a little bit, at least on a smaller level, on a very
Okay.
small.
But then still I see, many plants still operate semi-automated systems. What practical low disruption steps can manufacturers take in this case to transitions toward, a fully automated and intelligent material handling?
Say whatever the humanoid I had said, we may not need it at the right moment.
Hmm.
Only big organizations need, Amazon needs, or very big organization needs.
Yeah.
For us, maybe a semi-automatic machine is okay,
Okay.
or as Mr. Abhishek said, we need a small robot which can be
Okay.
easily teachable, maybe with a co-robot. So
Okay.
those things are much more enough, and those are not very costly also. With 10 less than 8 lakhs, 10 lakhs, we can get it, and we should be able to implement it if we want to have an edge, or if we want to be the first mover.
Got it, sir. I would just put one question across to Abhishek ji, because Abhishek ji, you mentioned about dark factories, and that is the lighthouse factory as well, which is a very common term. So there are dark factories which are operating in Japan. When do you see dark factories or a complete light out factories happening in India as a reality? Since now we have the agentic AI, we have the generative AI, we have AIs, and so many systems in place.
No, frankly speaking, I have not seen any of the factory. Maybe it is there, but I have
Yeah.
not visited. I
Okay.
have heard about the factories in China as well as in Japan,
Yeah.
which is called the dark factories, and I have read about them,
Okay.
basic functionality and that part.
Mhm.
But I am not aware about the factories in India, which is dark factory regarding that.
Okay. In India, even I am not sure whether any dark factory exists. Srikanth, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, there is one
Yeah.
dark factory. I am
Okay.
unable to recollect its name, but it's there in Kanchipuram, very close to
Okay.
Chennai. So they manufacture some components which goes into the mobile phones. But had read about this in some magazine. It is India's first and currently the only one factory which is running like a dark factory.
Okay, great. So we are, kind of coming to a conclusion that there is at least one dart factory in India, and we can move ahead from there in the future. And we have a lot of dart factories or the lighthouse factories in our country as well. But one thing, which really concerns me, gentlemen, here is, and one thing which is very common from all of your wonderful presentations is the skilling gap, and we are almost on all forums talking about localization. So this is a kind of a red flag, to me, because when we are talking about localization and when we have a skill gap, how do we reach there? So if at all I could have, a quick answer from each of you about this localization ambition versus the skill gap. Yes, Abhishek ji, you can begin your point of view.
Yes, localization can be possible. It
Yeah,
is easy to make that one. That is also adoptable because
yeah,
some people are ready to take that challenge. But apart from that, the big lack is in the skills. So when the people are asking for the skilled manpower or the skilled quality manpower, when they are asking for the specific segment, so people are not
yeah.
available. And the other thing I have seen that in the nature of today's generation, that people are not willing to learn. It is more challenging. Apart from not availability of the skilled manpower, this is more challenging that people are not having that tendency to learn. So the things are getting a bit difficult on that part when you want to train someone which are not interested to get trained.
But how do we? I mean, there is the graduates coming out of the IITs, they are not employable. And here we are talking about localization. So something has to
Right.
be done.
Right. So under that, because we are comparing the things with abroad directly. So when we are seeing anything, any good thing, our thing like it is in make in India, it is okay. But if you are saying like it is made in USA, made in Japan, people are having different perspective in today's era. Like before 10, 15, 20 years, it is not having that generation is not having that mindset. But now
Okay.
only the things are like people are getting fascinated by the things. So when we are not seeing our culture, it is our culture and it is made by India. So when we are not getting elevating certain kind of things,
Yeah.
so the things will not work out on that one. People are
Okay.
ready to work, or like the entrepreneurs are there, the money is
Hmm.
there, the funds are there, government schemes are there. But the thing is, when you are not having skilled manpower, after all, the things are getting very loosen up. So that momentum is not coming.
Okay. Before moving to Srikantji, I would like to take the views of Mr. Balchandar, because he's seen both sides of the coin. He's closely working with the Italians as well. Balchandra ji, how is the situation there when it comes to skilling versus the Indian context, and we are talking about localization?
Say, if you talk about Italy, yeah, they have many problems. The human is very costly there. They want to
Okay.
automate every part. If you go to McDonald's, we need to buy it from a automated system. In India, what I think can be possible, as Mr. Abhishek said, the
Mm-hmm.
Gen Z is very, very I don't say lazy, but they don't learn it at a much faster rate. If you ask how much is 1 inch in how many they don't tell it for any engineering student. So one way is doing an AR VR. If you want to do a training with augmented reality or virtual reality, it depends on which industry they are or what is the use case. Then maybe VR can be used for some safety automation, for machine working, everything. But if you want to do a welding, then VR may not be useful, but there are some use cases. So
Okay.
it depends. There are some products or packages that are available, and if that is used, then we can do the skilling at a better level, I think.
Okay. Okay. Srikanth, your thoughts on this?
Sagarji, you have asked a question which all our customers, and it's a general talk point everywhere we go. And
Yeah.
as rightly told by Mr. Balchandra and Abhishek, it's more to do with the willingness to learn. uh, Nowadays people don't want to learn, but still they just want to come and go kind of a thing. It doesn't work in that way. Any specific
Okay.
course or any specific thing that is being taught, they just do it for the sake of doing it. And
Yeah.
predominantly this has been the case with at least 80% now, even when we look for recruitment as well. So the ratio is becoming pretty worse. Now we need to we need to interview at least 10 people to select one, and even that person doesn't turn up. So it's not about the availability of jobs or the thing, it's more about the mindset. But there I feel that there will be a common path in which there will be a middle ground in which
Okay.
things will shape up automatically. There is no
Okay.
hard bound solution for it, but I feel there will be a middle path for it.
Okay. Great. Somewhere in your presentation, you mentioned about data input. So, who will do the input quality validation of the data to avoid complexities of the algorithms and to avoid some kind of a garbage in, garbage out situation?
Yeah, that's one of the most important points when we speak of AI or in the
Yeah.
application per se. So what we are suggesting nowadays is to go more with IoT and very less manual entries. So there
Okay.
is a provision in which we can bring in the data from machine, from measuring instrument, any possible form to the system. So once that data is brought in a right way, only then these things can take meaningful shape, or else it will be just like garbage in and garbage out. So the solution
Yeah.
here is to avoid manual entries to a great extent. Even today, very large organizations where we have seen, they still have logbooks, where they still have Excel sheets, and when we copy paste there are some errors. So unimaginable kind of stuff. So the solution is we need to have technology in which now today there is OCR. So I just have a printed paper or something that is written, that gets converted into the digital form and that gets taken in. And there is also a voice to text possibility. So with
Okay.
these kind of interventions, we can use the same set of people to reduce the error in the data input, and also try with IoT to get maximum possible data directly from the machine or the equipment itself.
Okay. So, Abhishek, is that helping the machine tool builders?
So in machine tool, where I up to where I have seen certain kind of things. So it is mostly on hardware basis at present moment.
Yeah.
Right now, like machine tool builders as well as the manufacturers of any of the components which belongs to the manufacturing of the goods. So
Yeah.
basically, they are seeing the parameters. So now, suppose we are taking this CNC turning lathe as a case study. So there are multiple parameters like spindle temperature, that spindle accuracy, then tool wear out,
Yeah.
then the coolant, how much coolant is going to get used. So certain kind of parameters which is directly linking that things to the performance of the machine as well as the health monitoring of the machine. So these kind of solutions are already in the market, and
Okay.
the OEMs as well as the this one, the owner of the machines, are also interested to take certain kind of solutions.
Okay. Bhajendraji, you adopt this kind of things to ensure that there is no garbage in, garbage out when you deal so much with the robotics and so on systems in your plants?
Say, we do some automated systems for the welding, but we don't use much on the IoT part where there's a lot of
Yeah.
garbage. So, but there are systems, I think, when we were doing that AR/VR company, there were edge devices. So the edge devices will be able to take out the garbage at a reasonable level, but we need
Okay.
to train it at a better pace. But it is again a cost involved in it, but it is now in an advanced phase, I think.
Okay, great. So, before we conclude, one short and very quick point to all of you. You can just answer one by one. What is your message to the industry when it comes to this AI and automation adoption on the shop floor? I may begin with Mr. Balachandar, please.
As Mr. Srikanth said, we need to write down where our company needs to go, what is the
Yeah.
goal, and then we need to see where the ROI is we are going to get, and we need to implement at least a small level of automation to start with. Otherwise, we'll be lost in the goal. We'll be lost in the competition. It will be very difficult. So we need to implement it as soon as possible. Otherwise, we'll be out of the market.
Okay. Srikanji, your words on this?
Yeah. So within the next 20 years, if an organization does not follow these practices, they can't be cost competitive and quality competitive in the market. So yeah, they will have to figure out a method in which they'll start doing these things initially on a small way and then in a larger way. Only then they can sustain.
Sir, isn't 20 years a very long time?
No, it requires that much amount of time because even we see a lot of organizations starting today. So
Okay.
pre-COVID, none of them were. I mean, most of them were not having IoT. Now
Yeah.
today, even small organizations are having IoT devices. So it
Okay.
took about 5 years for them to understand that there is a benefit in this. Then now there is a concept of AI integrating all these things. So it will take minimum 5-10 years for them to understand, try out, and then probably mature in the direction in which they feel they should go forward.
Yeah. All right. All right. Got it. Got it. Abhishek ji, one last word, sentence from your
Right.
side.
So basically, when it comes to the industry,
Hanji.
where the top management is having the vital role, so there should be open mindset about the adoption of the AI as well as the IIoT. There should be nothing like these are the add-on cost on that one,
Yeah.
so we are denying that one. So right now it is not essential, but it is going to get essential in upcoming years. So basically, when it is going to get adopted by the top management, obviously the culture will get adopted and it will absorb by the whole organizational structure.
Absolutely. And then whatever said and done, it is a process and it has to take some time, to flow
Right.
down the levels.
Right.
So yeah. So with that, we will come to the conclusion of this wonderful panel discussion. I mean, superb insights shared by you all on this very important topic. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your time, what you spared with OEM Update Magazine.